Yes, you read the title correctly. And yes, I know that this sentiment sounds brutal and harsh. And a lot of the time, the narrative pushed by COD fans that is the exact opposite. They say, oh, COD developers need to listen to the fans more. They would be much more successful if they just listened to the fans. Well, I hate to break it to y'all. That's exactly what they've kind of been doing for the last couple years since Modern Warfare 19, and it has brought us to where we are at today. Black Ops 7 was outsold by Battlefield. Call of Duty is at an all-time low in terms of public sentiment. The cultural zeitgeist has moved entirely past Call of Duty, and it has officially become a joke. Call of Duty is literally a joke. Me and my friends jokingly say all the time, screw this, I'm downloading Black Ops 7 when we're playing a game and we lose or die or get frustrated. And the reason we say that is because the idea of me and my friends downloading Call of Duty is genuinely comical at this point. Call of Duty sucks so bad that the idea of downloading it is like the absolute bottom of the barrel of things that we would actually do. And I definitely know that I'm not the only one who has this experience. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. The fans have driven this franchise into the ground with their indecisiveness. They don't know what they want, and you could give them the literal perfect Call of Duty game that they ask for. You could give them everything that they wanted, and they would throw it back into the developer's face, and they'd be like, actually, I didn't want that. So why try? Why I don't understand why the developers even try to appease the fans. Modern Warfare 19 came out during a low point for the franchise. It was just after the influx of advanced movement Call of Duties, which was right after COD Ghosts, which is definitely the worst Call of Duty ever made. Sorry. I know there's some Ghost apologists out there. I was there day one, dude. PS4. It was the first game I had on the PS4. That game sucked. Sorry, gamers. Anyway, this was an era that COD went through its first real identity crisis. We were coming out of the golden age of COD, where the games were about real wars, real psychological trauma. The games had grit and they had conviction. They had an actual creative vision, and they sort of knew what they wanted to be in this golden era. And then the advanced movement was the first time COD felt like it was chasing trends, and it felt like it was reaching so desperately for relevance, and it didn't work, obviously. COD was culturally irrelevant at this era. But then it was Infinity Ward's turn again. Not many people know this, but Modern Warfare 19 was actually going to be Infinity Ward's last turn leading a Call of Duty game. And if it didn't work out, they were going to be moved to a support studio. So Infinity Ward threw caution to the wind and went all out. There's no more chasing trends, no more goofy aesthetics. For the first time in years, we were getting a real, grounded Call of Duty. It was made with conviction, and it was made with a clear vision and a chip on their shoulder. They were hell-bent on transforming the franchise into a new modern age. It was culturally relevant again. Everybody was playing Modern Warfare 19. Friends who hadn't touched COD in years were hitting me up again almost every night. I almost had too many friends that were back on COD that it was hard to play with them all, honestly. It's the first time in years, probably since like elementary, middle school, that I had all my friends playing Call of Duty again. And the reason for this was because Infinity Ward didn't give a damn about what the Call of Duty community wanted. No more bright colors, no more goofy skins, no more boring 3-lane maps that all feel the same. No more catering solely to the cracked out, Adderall-laden, G-Fuel huffing 14-year-olds. The game made a deliberate choice to slow things down, to make a game that involved more thinking rather than being solely reliant on having the fastest reflexes to win every gunfight. Along with that, the game had a clear artistic vision. It was a more realistic look to the environments, more realistic gun animations and recoil, and it was a level of attention to detail that no other COD had up to this point. To which, of course, the COD community complained endlessly about the visibility isn't perfect. There's too much dust and effects on the map. The guns move too much when they're fired and are too loud. The maps have too many safe spaces and are too camper friendly. The delay after dying and spawning takes too long. I just want to immediately spawn back in. The maps have too many sight lines and are impossible to move through. The complaints are genuinely endless. The loud minority of hardcore fans complained endlessly, but the broader cultural opinion was clear. The game fucks. Along with the sheer polish, aesthetic cohesion, and kinetic gameplay, there were a lot of other additional features added to the game that sort of changed Call of Duty forever. The gunsmith, which completely changed the way gun customization worked in Call of Duty forever. And not only Call of Duty, but countless games afterwards copied it. Again, Call of Duty was setting the trends. First Call of Duty to implement crossplay, ground war, gunfight, free DLC across the board, vehicles, and not to mention the best Call of Duty campaign, on par with the golden era of campaigns. Not everything was perfect, and I'm not just here to sing the praises of Modern Warfare 19. There were definitely aspects that I don't personally like as well. But by and large, this game was the last time Call of Duty essentially gave the finger to the COD community and made a game that they wanted to make. They made a game with zero outside input and worked solely from a place of passion, vision, and inspiration. I actually love watching behind the scenes videos of Infinity Ward at the time, talking about creating the game. And there's just like this electricity. There's this passion that exudes from them while they're talking about the game that they're creating.
But hey, the animations in this game are going to be
these, no one can touch these.
So what are we looking at today? What do you want to show up?
All right, well today, this is one of the shotguns we have in the game right now. It's a pump action. As far as animation goes, like we have the usual fire, rechamber afterwards. Then we have a reload where it's pretty visceral. You know, we were going for that real tier 1, you know, this person works and sleeps with this weapon nonstop. Handle it with extreme confidence. Back in the day, we used to have like really floaty and pretty animations. This project, we wanted it more visceral, realistic, constantly in your face, like I'm in the thick of things with these weapons.
How much room to grow is there still within the genre? I feel like once you've mocapped tier 1, like what are you still finessing here?
Well, we haven't mocapped. This is all hand-keyed animation.
It was the last time I truly believe COD was made with excitement and passion. And then Treyarch comes along. With the complaint of COD fans being so loud amongst the echo chamber of online discourse, one would have assumed that Infinity Ward poisoned the water supply of anyone who purchased Modern Warfare 19. And to this day, among the dedicated COD fans, it still catches a lot of hate, and by certain low IQ people is considered the beginning of the end for COD, which is truly a take that takes so much cognitive dissonance. I honestly can't understand how anybody comes to that conclusion. But in the 6 years since Modern Warfare 19, Treyarch has tried countless attempts to quell the complaints of COD fans by continuously whittling their games down, being glorified meat grinder slop. The fans complained about the big, more intricate map design of Modern Warfare 19. Now all the maps are these copy-pasted 3-lane arenas with just like a different skin, a different aesthetic to them. Fans complained about the methodical movement and pacing in Modern Warfare 19, so they cracked out the movement and added wall bouncing and omni movement. Fans complained about the realistic weathered aesthetic of Modern Warfare 19, so they turn the saturation up to 11 and take out any sort of environmental detail in any of the maps. The fans complained about the boring Battle Pass skins in Modern Warfare 19, so give them Teletubbies, Treyarch said. Give them fucking, I don't know, American Dad. Give them Stewie Griffin. Treyarch has been bending over backwards to give the COD community whatever they want, and still it would never be enough. And in that chasing, they have lost everything else. I don't have a single friend who still plays COD. I don't know a single person at work or at church or in my social circles who still plays Call of Duty. They've alienated everybody else in chasing a community that doesn't even know what they want and will never be happy. It is time to stop. It is time that Call of Duty developers make a game that they are passionate about. That's where the real magic happens in any creative realm. As a musician, if I'm just trying to make a song to top the charts that I don't like, I'm not going to have fun making the song, and it's more likely going to suck. The best games ever made aren't the games that spend all their energy trying to appeal to a faceless accounts on the internet. They are games that had a clear vision and knew what they wanted to be. They were made with passion and excitement. So with Modern Warfare 4, I want to tell Infinity Ward, don't listen to the general Call of Duty community. Now, that doesn't mean don't listen to feedback, don't have discernment. I'm not saying that at all, because there are blind spots whenever making a creative vision into a reality. Listen to the people that you trust, listen to the people that take the time to form their opinions and aren't just blindly following the popular narrative in an echo chamber. And this goes for anybody in any sort of creative field. If you listen to all the noise, you're going to create slop. You're going to create a bad product that nobody really likes, that's tried to be made for everybody, but ends up being made for nobody. So, Infinity Ward, do not listen to the Timmies who are 13 and addicted to Adderall. That's not going to work out for you in the long term. I am hopeful for Modern Warfare 4. Call me an idiot, but I do think that the studio's cooking. From the behind the scenes, inside the Ward videos and the podcasts they've been releasing, it does honestly seem like the devs are excited and are passionate about what they're working on, and that makes me happy. And I will say this to the COD community. There's nothing more dangerous for a society than a group of people who don't know how to think for themselves. Before you write an opinion online, before you attach your identity to an opinion or ideal, ask yourself, is this truly what I think? Did I actually thoroughly think through this opinion and do research before forming it? Is this really my opinion, or just some opinion of a popular YouTuber or the comments that I'm seeing all over the internet? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This video went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and I actually had a lot more to say originally. I wanted to touch on Modern Warfare 2, what I feel like kind of made that game a disaster. And also, I did want to talk about Sledgehammer, where I feel like sort of Sledgehammer fits in all of this. But that'll be another video for another time. Anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching. Be sure to subscribe. That would make my day. That would be so amazing if you guys subscribed. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much. Bye.